So definitely in this environment, if you're accumulating it, you got to stick with the best of breed. So Ethereum and Bitcoin, and mainly because number one, the SEC said that Bitcoin at least is a commodity. So it gives us a little bit of a framework to understand what the rules will be for that. Ethereum, again, is just the use cases. There's so much use case for it. There's so much kind of build out on it that I think that's the one. The other ones, there could be a massive winner in there, but you don't want to commit a ton of capital, because if you look back 2 years ago or 3 years ago, if you looked at the top 20 coins, it's very few of them are still in that top 20. Like look at Litecoin, it's fallen way down the list. I mean, and so you just want to be careful. And I think in bear markets, it's where you need to be the most careful, because the good will really rise above the rest.
Wait for a second, because Bitcoin's era has not ended yet. Perhaps all cryptocurrencies can be wiped out, but Bitcoin has to stay in the market. As Gareth Soloway said, Bitcoin is the best of the breed. But is there any chance you can invest in Bitcoin now? Well, Gareth Soloway, in his latest interview with Traders Summit, revealed some inside insights about Bitcoin. He also mentioned that this might be a quick opportunity for investors willing to squeeze into the market at a bargain price. What more did Gareth Soloway say about Bitcoin, its price, and its future? Welcome back to the Metaverse Economy, a channel where you get all important updates about the crypto world. If you want to stay on the surface during these uncertain times, you will find all videos here that matter. Watch the video until the end to know what once-in-a-lifetime opportunity Bitcoin is offering to investors. Let's get started. When Gareth Soloway was asked what he thinks about Bitcoin, he said he frankly thinks he should have invested more in Bitcoin in 2012. Back then, the price was at the lowest. However, Gareth said that he was a realist, and he is a realist. He doesn't look at crypto as others see. He believes in graphs and analysis as he does in stocks, which is why he has stayed on the surface for the last decades. Listen to what Gareth said.
So I'm a huge long-term bull in terms of the use case and the need for something like Bitcoin and even Ethereum. Again, I got interested back in like 2011, 2012 in Bitcoin because I saw what the Fed was doing out of the financial crisis. And to me, I couldn't understand how it made sense when I was earning money or trying to create a living, how they could just print money out of thin air. And in theory, that makes my money worth less because there's more dollars out there. And so the idea of Bitcoin made so much sense to me back then. I wish I invested a lot more back then, frankly. But of course, you'd play it safe, and I did play it safe, and I traded in and out of it. But the bottom line is I'm a cycles guy. I'm a chart guy, which means I'm a realist that cycles occur. So you have these mega moves, just like the stock market. You had it in crypto, and then you have bear cycles. And so you can be a long-term bull and still expect a 50, 60, 70, 80% correction in Bitcoin. It's just might as well trade.
He said that he considers Bitcoin the same as stocks, where both upward and downward trends can occur. The prices can go up and down, and that's how an asset works. Prices cannot always be at the same level, no matter how strong an asset is. In other words, he is a crypto realist who trusts Bitcoins. It should be noted that Gareth said only about the best of the breed that is Bitcoin. Since he has invested for the long term, he has seen both bearish and bullish periods. However, his overall growth has been phenomenal. Therefore, if we ask Gareth what he thinks about Bitcoin, his answer is to trust Bitcoin and invest only if you were thinking for the long term. No doubt Bitcoin's price has come down, and that's okay. How is a world possible where asset prices always go up? It's a market where fluctuations show that the market is alive. However, investors join the crypto market only to pocket abnormal profits, which they can make nowhere else. When such expectations come the way, the crypto market becomes an overnight getting-rich scheme, and this scheme can either make you or break you. As for Gareth, he has invested in Bitcoin, and he is getting paid off quite well. Here's a little reminder to like the video if you were loving it. And if you don't want to miss videos about proven investment and the crypto market, subscribe to our channel. Let's continue now. But Gareth also mentioned the short and long-term perspectives about cryptocurrencies. He said he had invested in Bitcoin because the Fed was printing more money, and the US dollar was becoming worthless with time. Therefore, he thought the best option would be to invest in other assets like Bitcoin. However, interestingly, the US dollar has reached a 20-year price compared to all other currencies. In other words, the UD dollar's price is now at a 20-year high value. Instead of depreciation, the US dollar's price appreciated. However, that doesn't mean you should sell all your cryptocurrencies and have your money back in the US dollar form. Gareth said that it might seem the opposite has happened. where Bitcoin price has gone down while the US dollar price has gone up. However, in the long run, paper currency's value decreases. So in the short term, the US dollar price might have gone up. But in the long term, Gareth said he was bearish on the US dollar in the long term. He said that since all central banks in countries are printing more money, the US dollar appears as a stronger currency. This might seem that the US dollar's price has increased. However, the underlying indicators say that the price appreciation is due to other factors. It's not because the US dollar performed well, but because all other currencies in the world performed poorly that gave the US dollar the leverage. Listen to what Gareth Soloway said.
We're like, everyone hate the Fed because, crypto's our salvation. And then here we're like, Fed, could you please print some money so the crypto and assets will go up? And the same thing with the dollar. The dollar is going to be worthless, so you got to own Bitcoin. Well, guess what happens? It goes the opposite way as well. So I think it's important to differentiate between your short-term views and your long-term. Like long-term, I'm still very bearish on the dollar. I still think eventually the Fed goes back to what they do best, which is printing us out of recessions or depressions. So I think long-term it makes sense, but in the short term, it makes sense that the dollar strengthened because every other central bank was doing the same thing. And then you could argue that they were doing it even to a bigger extent, like the Bank of Japan. And so we have to remember that the dollar is valued against other currencies versus against a basket of goods. And now we see prices going up quite substantially.
So what's going to happen now? After seeing crypto exchanges, assets and platforms collapsing, the crypto market has become a serious business. Earlier, as Gareth said, if moms, pops, and children were investing in them, then now institutions are on it. FTX collapse and other platforms like Celsius have brought government authorities for inspections and scrutiny. Therefore, we can see regulations coming into the crypto world very soon. Investors won't be able to pump assets overnight and inflate the prices to abnormal levels, as we saw before. Regulations will define some rules and set premises to ensure no extreme fluctuations occur. The reason why investors like Warren Buffett don't adopt cryptocurrencies is the same. The crypto market doesn't have regulations or predefined rules. And big investors never invest in something that doesn't have rules. So now, even if the collapses might have proven painful, they are paving the way toward regulations. And when regulations would come, so would big investors and institutions and their money. Imagine Warren Buffett investing in Bitcoin because it would be the same as stocks. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has a portfolio of $300 billion that includes top stocks like Apple, Coca-Cola, American Express, and many more. Now that we add regulations to the cryptocurrencies, they make Bitcoin a commodity that can be trusted as we trust stocks. So it's a better time to invest in the best breeds like Bitcoin because soon we will see massive amounts of money coming. Other cryptocurrencies will be ignored because big investors always seek the best ones. Listen to what Gareth said about that.
So with the addition of Bitcoin futures, you're 100% right. Volatility has come out of it a little bit. And I think that's from more participants, right? You get more participants, you get more institutions involved. So you don't have as wild swings where it's just mom and pops or kids, buying and selling and panicking and pumping and stuff like that. So I think that's a good thing. And that's why I'm really excited that as we get regulation, it's going to bring in more and more big money that, while the crypto community is oftentimes anti-big money, we don't want to get the big banks, the big hedge funds involved. In a weird way, they bring stability, right? They bring, you don't see when the markets drop 10%, all the hedge funds don't dump all their Apple stock, right? Or Apple would crash, so they kind of hold through the craziness while the smaller investor tends to panic and then, chase the runs as well. So I think that's a really good thing. I can't wait till there's a Bitcoin spot ETF. I think that would be even better for the overall market. And I think you just have to get more and more participants to be okay with cryptocurrencies. And then you'll see the stability increase even more.
Gareth clearly said that if you want to see Bitcoin achieving a quarter, half, or $1 million price, you have to take big money in. There is no other way than this. The idea is simple. Cryptocurrencies know situations are getting out of hand. Since Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency in the world, it would be the first one to bring in regulations and become a legitimate commodity in which everyone can invest. Whether we are talking about crazy investors, seasoned ones, middle-class people, old Americans, or anyone, Bitcoin has to be a safe commodity whose price cannot be manipulated with just a tweet. Listen to what he said.
And we need, and in all fairness, people that want Bitcoin and think Bitcoin's going to, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, you got to get the bigger money in there to create that scenario. So I do think that people, I mean, you can look at it two ways. You can look at, regulation. They're going to know everything about us because, they're going to regulate it and track every transaction and everything like that. Or you can say, hey, listen, I'm an investor. I'm trying to build wealth for my friend, my family, and my future. And therefore I need more participants to get in here, and you need the regulation for that. And again, even think about like older Americans, right? I mean, even myself, I'm not super old by any stretch, but without FDIC insurance on crypto accounts, there's risks. And especially for older Americans, older people around the world, they click on the wrong link and someone gets in their crypto account and steals all their money. It's gone right now. Like there's no recourse. There's no FDIC insurance. And that's for a lot of people, that's something that will keep them from investing in it.
That's such a great point. Stella, so did you have any other questions?
On cryptos, no. We can go elsewhere, but yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna before we move away from that.
After seeing what happened, it appears that regulations are midway. In other words, this is the time when serious investors should enter the crypto market. However, Gareth Soloway said all other cryptocurrencies should be just let go, and Bitcoin should be chosen if you want profits. He regretted that he should have bought more Bitcoin back in 2012. Perhaps now is the precise time investors should buy Bitcoin because prices have gone down and the crypto market is seeing a paradigm shift. That's the quick opportunity that rarely comes. What do you think? Can regulations bring into cryptocurrencies, especially in Bitcoin? Or do you think Bitcoin can stay afloat even without regulations? Well, it can stay on the surface, but hitting the $1 million price target can be difficult. Comment right below in the comment section. Do you agree with Gareth Soloway that Bitcoin should be only focused now? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to the Metaverse Economy for more videos about the crypto market and investment insights. Until the next video, stay tuned.